Okay, today we are again trying some new sea beauty products, and today we're unlocking a new brand for me, not for the market. CARSLAN. This is actually a brand that existed for a long time, probably over 30 years. It was a brand already when I was a small child. Actually, the products I knew was their eye products because their commercial has this phrase, CARSLAN big eyes, and I didn't know they had this many other products. So today we are trying their foundations. These two foundations. We also have two other foundations that I'm trying on another day, but also included in this video. And we also have their lippies, their loose powder. I have a mini. And their all-in-one face eyes products that I am in a big boom for right now. And we also have a liquid contour, a mascara, and an eyeliner from flowerknows, which I have tried so many things from flowerknows, but I have never tried these type of things from this brand, so I'm new for this as well. Like, I'm unlocking new categories for this brand. And we also have a bunch of Girlcult, which is nothing new because I'm trying this brand all the time. But I'm trying some new shades from their previous collections. These are all viral shades from Red Note. So basically Red Note convinced me buying all of this. So if you're interested, just keep watching. Ignore the mess behind me, okay? And let's start with foundation. This is from the brand CARSLAN. This looks like it is a moisturizing formulation from the name. And this one, the black one with the same bottle design, is a more matte? They're just trying to say like long lasting. They did not specify it's matte. And there is a cushion foundation. This one has English. It's Traceless Air Cushion Cream. This one is a liquid foundation called Traceless Lasting Foundation. So because these two are the same series, and these two look like they are the same series, so I think today we can try these two first, and tomorrow when I am filming another video I can try that too, because I also kind of want to know how this one lasts. For the shade, I don't think this one has a great shade range, so I might end up with a ghosty face because there's 3 shades, P01 and 02, which I assume this is a pink shade, and there's W01. So this one is probably the more olive-ish tone, but 01, if that's the lightest shade, it never would work on me. I mean, I guess I could also try the shade P02 because that one is supposedly darker than 01, but the thing is the undertone would be too off because my face might look red and pinkish, but my body is pretty olive. Doesn't look too bad, this color. It just look a little bit too orangey. The Trump type of orange, but lighter. Which I don't know how I feel about. I have never used any foundation that's this orange before. And it feels like almost like a watery, like serum-y. Oh, this color can be good. And it smells like hair shampoo. And why is my hand so messy? Like, it's everywhere. Probably because it's like very liquidy, so it's like running everywhere. Actually, this brand, when I was very little, is more known for their eye products because their commercial is very well known. Big Eyes CARSLAN. I haven't paid attention to them since the last time I watched one of their commercial, so I didn't know they have this many products right now. The shade aside, the finish is not too bad. I guess we just have to wait and see how this wears. And I guess the shade is pale for me, but dare I say it's not too bad. Mixed with like a darker foundation, this could totally work because the undertone is right. Even though it's like super orange, blending it out, it doesn't look that orange. Didn't settle into my pores and such, but I just feel like this is one of those foundations you have to set with powder because I'm touching this area and it's already rubbed off. So I feel like it's one of those formulations that never sets down. Let's leave it like that and try the other lasting version of this. Oh, this one is visibly thicker. Still on the liquidy side, just not as liquidy as the other one. And I feel like this one probably has more coverage. Oh, I feel like this one is more matte. And it's kind of settling in my pores. Can you tell? Like on this area, it's totally settling into my pores. Not too bad, but it's like literally settling. And I don't know if you can tell on the camera, this side looks more smooth and well applied, and this one looks like a tiny little bit chunky. As if right now, not too bad, but I definitely prefer the glowy one. We do also have a setting powder from them, and I bought a very small size because I don't need any more full size. So whenever I can buy a mini, I buy a mini. But before that, we do have a liquid bronzer from Flowerknows. This is their Strawberry Cupid collection liquid contour in the shade 06. I don't know if this is available in the outside of Asian market, because I believe in the Europe or like Western countries, the shade 06 is another shade. Like this is the shade 06 in their liquid blush collection. It's just this shade is for contour. But in that same line, the shade 06 is a different shade for the like overseas market. You might not be able to purchase this one if you live outside of Asia. And the shade is pretty darn gray. Like it's literally a contour. You cannot look at this. You cannot bronze with this at all. You know, sometimes the bronzers or contour, you can kind of utilize them for both if they are a neutral shade, but this one, there's literally no room. I feel like this is very, very pigmented. Spread it out on the back of my hand, and I only took a little bit with the brush, and the brush is like, you know, running on all of these places and it still has residue. So let's blend this. Apparently this people on Reddit, on 小红书, love this formula. And I tried their blush. I believe the shade I tried was 04. And the formulation was nice. So it makes sense this one works well as well. Pretty nice. I think the result is pretty obvious. Like my nose is definitely defined right now. Do I dare to do a little bit on my cheekbones? Maybe pat this. Well, I feel like if you look at me from this angle, you wouldn't feel like this patch is weird, but when I like facing someone or a mirror or whatever in this angle, you can definitely see that there's like a patch of contour there. So I guess the shadowing effect is good, but at the same time it could easily be like too gray. I feel like this one would work the best just as nose contour and not around the face. But overall, I feel like the shade is pretty nice. It's actually not too gray for the nose. It's like just the right tone. and I really like it. I think it's a great formula and great color. And let's set it with this CARSLAN Black Magnet Makeup Powder. I believe this is a pretty well received, like pretty popular powder from them. And they have a lot of powders. And there's like a very small little puff in here. Of course, I'm not gonna use that puff. It's gonna take days. This looks like one of those HD powders, which I have mixed feelings. Sometimes when you apply too much, or not even too much, like just the normal amount you apply other powders, it can feel like too slippery on your face, so other products don't stick on your face, and it just feels like sometimes it even makes your makeup look chunky. So I hope this one doesn't do that. Yeah, this is definitely HD powder, like only a little bit make your face extremely slippery. So let's see how the other products work on top of this. But the result is pretty nice. It doesn't look chunky. See that? It doesn't really look chunky. I used a pretty small amount of powder to apply on both sides of my face. And after setting it, I feel like the heaviness on this long-lasting foundation is even more obvious. At least in real life, I can definitely see the pores are emphasized more on this area. It's emphasized by the, you know, foundation stuck into the pores, and it's also stuck into the pores on the side of my nose and looking a little bit heavy on like around my nostrils. And other areas were okay, and this side is overall way better. I feel like it's more smooth on every inch of my skin. Maybe not my favorite, but it's not bad. Among a lot of C Beauty foundations I have tried, this one definitely is on the like good side. Okay, now it's a all-in-one palette from the same brand, CARSLAN. It's the SUQQU Twinkle Comprehensive Palette in the shade 03. It includes highlighting shades, blending shades, base shades, brightening shades, deepen shades like highlights, contour, and blush. So basically everything. If you just look at the actual palette, not what's said on the back of the palette, these 6 are just like eyeshadows, and these 3 looks more like eyeshadows and like face product, and this one is definitely a blush. And I think they are saying you can use these 2 to do a highlight, but I feel like this one would be too gold for that. Okay, here is the swatch. It's kind of like opposite. These 6 are the eyeshadow shades, and these 3 that you can barely see are the 3 shades on the bottom, and this is the blush. So from the swatch, I feel like these eyeshadow shades, matte ones, are on the more pigmented side compared to the other formulas in this palette, and they are pretty soft and loosely pressed, so you can have like a fair amount of kick off. This one is like dry glitter, not glitter, shimmer, and this one is more of a metallic shade with a little bit moisture to it, so I imagine this one would be more this one more intense than this one, as you can clearly see. And this is a very soft blush, like you can barely see it. These 2 are actually super close shades. Just this one, the pigmentation is softer, and this one has more pigmentation. So I want to use this one as a base, and I don't know if you can tell all of the fallout by just tapping on it. Pretty nice. It's a nice peachy shade. Warm peachy shade. This is a very warm palette. Not sure how I feel about this extremely loosely pressed formulation. I prefer the palette to be looking more on the clean side after I take some of the powder, not like messy like this. I'm not even harsh with my brush at all. This one, I'm pressing extra gently here. I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but in real life I can tell these eyeshadow shades are actually a little bit more pigmented. It's hard to tell because I'm only applying a little bit of product. I don't want to make this too intense. My lower lash line. This one is a little bit more on a warmer side, but it's like still kind of neutral, and this one is neutral, more on the cooler side with a tiny little bit of like sparkle. And I feel like I can barely see it. Let's use this bigger brush. Yeah, there's not that much color to it. I think it's just like a different tone to this. So there might not be that much of a tone difference of these three. It's all the undertone difference. It's all at the same depth level. The darkest one. Even this one is not that dark, right? It looks just kind of like a red. So I imagine this palette is probably only suitable for people who want very warm toned looks. Even though some of these look neutral, but the majority of the shades are extremely warm. The fallout is like reminding me of the Anastasia, is that called Subculture? That super controversial palette. I have never purchased that one, so I don't actually know, but it kind of reminds me of that. The shade isn't bad, but it's not what I thought this one would be. I'm kind of surprised that they include such a reddish shade in here. Not that the shade doesn't look good, but this is a very daily palette, right? Like all-in-one palette. Most of them are made for people just want a daily basis, like quick out-of-door type of product. And including a red like this and no other darker shade, it just feels like it's not suitable for this theme. Okay, now let's try the shimmers. Let's try this gold first. It's, like I said, more on the like wet, not actually, but compared to the other one, on the more wet side. It looks nice, but applying on the eye, it doesn't feel as wet. It applies like a totally a powder. You know, this type of like very intense eyeshadows, some of them has very little amount of base color, and some of them has like a lot of base color. This one is the ones that has a lot of base color, which I actually am not a big fan of that. I can use that, I don't hate it, but it's not my preference. I like the ones that with less base product. This one is basically covering everything underneath, which is, there's nothing wrong with that, but for some reason I just prefer this type of like super reflective eyeshadows with less base color. But we can try this one. This one looks like there's barely any base color, but this one is lackluster as well. It just looks dull. It just even like making this shade more dull. This palette for now, I feel like it's something that I can't use. I can definitely use it, but it's definitely not something I would like grab on a daily basis, and it's not something that I actually prefer to use. The next thing is an eyeliner. Normally I don't really review this type of thing because I feel like you have to change it pretty frequent, right? Like because it's near your eye, and a lot of time it's just not fun to try an eyeliner, right? So normally this type of video I don't incorporate new eyeliners, but this time I purchased one from Flowerknows because they finally released the eyeliner. And a mascara. I think they are from the same collection, the Cloud Color collection, and it's pretty heavy. Like as an eyeliner, this is heavy, and as a mascara, this is very heavy too. The packaging is very well made. The thing is, with other packagings from them, I don't feel like it's a waste because it's gonna last you a long time, even this liquid contour, right? But the thing is, with mascara, you kind of have to change it pretty often, and I'm gonna throw away this super beautiful tube after like 3 to 6 months, which feel like such a waste. And the same with these eyeliners. Shade I have is the brown shade. I believe they have 2, and this is the dark brown shade from them, and it's a very pointy tip, and it's a brush tip, it's not felt, which is good. The eyeshadow is falling off my eyes so badly, so I'm like keep blinking this eye because it keeps falling on my eye and on my cheeks. It's like all particles right now. But let's use this eyeliner. Sometimes eyeliner would be like have so much liquid and you feel like you can barely control it, and some formula you feel like the eyeliner is so dry there's nothing in it. But this one is in a good balance with that. It's pretty easy to control. There's not too much liquid, but you don't run out of ink middle of your eyeliner. I think you can see it's a pretty sharp line because the tip is very pointy. Oh, this is very easy to use to draw lower eyelash. You can see it's like pretty real looking, right? Sometimes this type of eyeliners, the brush hair is too hard. You feel like it's not flexible enough to like give it like a very smooth line, but sometimes it's too flexible, like it's too soft, it lacks a little bit of stability, and you feel like you're drawing such a long line because you lose control. But this one, again, is in a good balance for that, which I really appreciate. It's kind of hard to find an eyeliner that's in a good balance. And for drawing the lower lash line, actually previously the easiest one to use is the Joocyee one. But this one, the thing is, I only prefer to draw my lower lash line with it because it's too thin. Like the flowerknows one is thin, but the Joocyee one is very thin, right? So I feel like it's taking me 2 years to just fill in the wing of my eyeliner, so I only prefer to use it on my lower lash line. But for this one, it's pointy enough to be good for the lower eyelash, but it's not too thin. You feel like it's taking your ears to just draw a wing. So yeah, I really love this. As long as it doesn't smudge, it's gonna be my new favorite eyeliner. And let's try this mascara. It's the rubber type of one, and it's not a round brush. Bristle is only on one side, and it's kind of curved. And it seems like there's fiber in it. And I believe I got a black shade for this. I always get black for mascara and brown for eyeliner. Oh, can you see there's no chunky bits, like it's not clumpy at all. It almost looks like falsy type of look. And sometimes for the mascara, if it has fibers, it's very easy to get the fiber in your eye and it hurts. But this one, I didn't feel the fiber. It's pretty nice. The thing is, I can feel that this is a very dry formulation. I think if you use a fair amount of mascara, you can even tell from just, you know, seeing the camera footage that this must be a dry formulation. Because if you want the hair, your eyelash hair, to be this delicate. My concern for this type of mascara is how long does this tube last. Not for the hygiene purpose, but for, you know, is it gonna dry out super quickly after you open it, right? But we can't find that out today. We have to find that out in maybe 3 months. Okay, I guess this is half of a win. The other half we have to see after 3 months. Back to this palette, let's complete our face. I'm just using this blush. Well, I guess the blush is not bad, but it's like a peachy blush. There's not too much to say about it. It's a nice blush. I was gonna move on to the next product, but maybe let's try the highlight here. Let's use a smaller brush. Because this one is so chunky and it has like some very dull glitters in it and the fallout is pretty bad, I kind of want to try this gold one, which is a bold move because it's a pretty orangey gold. Let's just try. I feel like there's some cast to it and it's pretty chunky. So yeah, not for highlight. Now I guess let's just try this super chunky whitish shade. No. I feel like for C Beauty eyeshadows, it's either super good or it's super average or below average, and this one, the shadow is extremely below average. Okay, the next one is from Girlcult. I love this brand, so I purchased so many things from them. And this is just their normal powder blush collection, and this is a highlighting shade. I'm gonna leave the English name in the description box because there's only Chinese, but it's probably translated to something like Utopia or something. And this is a highlighting powder. Actually, this type of matte highlighting powder is super trendy. Or it's not even trendy, it's just like a staple step in Chinese people's makeup steps. A lot of people use this type of thing. It's not even like a trend recently or anything. There's a lot of people reading this color, and actually there's a lot of like similar colors from Girlcult's palettes. I just want to try this one, which is allegedly the most cult favorite, the original bestseller highlighting shade from them. And the box is kind of pretty, right? It's very reflective. It's very loosely pressed as well. Okay. Oh, can you see it? Like applying a small amount. It's visible but still natural highlighting effect. Previously, I usually use a smaller, denser brush to apply this type of matte highlighting powders, but I found that way the it's gonna make the product too intense and too dense on your face. It's not natural, so I exchanged to this type of fluffy stippling brush that's like a bigger and looser. So I'm applying a lighter layer of it. Sometimes other formulations from this brand can be a little bit too cool toned for me. This one is still on the cool tone side, but I feel like it's a hair less pink. Yeah, I don't know are they supposed to be the same shade, but I feel like this single one is just a hair more on the beigey side compared to this palette. We have a lot of lippies to try. First of all is this brand CARSLAN. Actually, the order from this brand is started from this lip products. I saw someone recommending this on Red Note and they say this is their favorite, and I really loved Declutter. So I got this one. It's the lip gloss serum in the shade G105. And there is a little sample that they gave me along the order. I don't know if I'm gonna try this though. Let's just ditch this because this type of shade I don't like it anymore. So I'm pretty sure even if I try this I won't like it. And there is five more shades that I wanted to try from Girlcult. I feel like I almost want to buy all of the shades, lip shades from this brand because they just such a good brand for nuanced colors. It might not be a special color like a blue or something, I don't know. It could be just a nude, but it's just a hair different than other nude shades and it just looks special. So I just always fell for their lip shades. So let's try the CARSLAN one. It's a lip lacquer. Peachy nude shade. I feel like it's a nice lip oil formula. Well, I guess I thought it was a lip lacquer, but it said lip gloss serum. It's probably, you know, more on the oily serum-y side. And the color is pretty nice. It's suitable for all the other makeup we have applied today. It feels pretty oily actually, but if you don't mind a oily formula, this is pretty comfortable. It's not drying at all. It's pretty moisturizing and it's very high shine. Okay, now let's try the Girlcult shades. I think these three are glossy formulations, so let's try these first. This is from their Peach Conference collection. I have a video reviewing that collection. The set I got was like a half complete set, so I don't have all of the shade. This is a shade that I did not purchase and I saw people recommending it on Right Now. If I ever go broke, the Right Now app is definitely to blame. This is the shade L01. It's supposed to be a neutral nude shade. See that? Oh, I wiped the other one down. The one from CARSLAN. Let's swatch it again so you see the comparison. This one is indeed more neutral and a little bit more pinkish, right? And by the way, if you don't like fragrance, the Girlcult lip products are super fragranced, so you might want to avoid this if you are very sensitive to scents. But this CARSLAN one doesn't really have any scent to it. If you don't know, the Girlcult lip products are mostly film former type of formulations. Basically, if you're not buying the actual like gloss type of thing, it's always the same film former type of formulation that only the top layer come off if you, let's say, like drink or eat, and it doesn't really take time to have the film former to work. And you know, some of the film forming type of formulations, especially from the Western country, the brands usually tell you to not rub your lip together and to wait for a little bit for it to settle. But this one, again, you don't have to do that. You just apply it and immediately the film former starts working. And you can see now it's already working. Like, this is just the grease that's coming off. And another thing is it's pretty oily. So I feel like it's just the oil that's doing all the work. You know, it's when you're eating or drinking, only the oil layer is coming off. So they have to make the oil layer thicker in order to protect the shade underneath. So if you really don't like a oily type of formulation, I feel like this is probably not what you like. I see people say this is too oily all the time. well, I feel like this is on the better side, but when it comes to this type of liquids, a lot of people complain that it's too oily, but for me it was okay. Continue to the next shade. I have never tried this collection. It's the Gold Digger collection, I think. This one is more cool toned than the previous one, and even more cool toned than the CARSLAN one. I really like this shade. It looks like way more cool toned than the other one, but it's actually just a neutral nude shade. Like, it immediately works. There's no color, just the shine. 806, a more vibrant, more rosy of a shade with the same type of formulation. I like this shade as well. It's a tiny little bit more vibrant than the previous two, and it's a little bit more pinkish compared to the CARSLAN one. Okay, we have two left, which are both matte formulations, I believe. The shade Lace Bomb. This should be a very cool toned nude, and I believe from some swatch it should have some very fine glitters, and it's not chunky because it's super fine. It just gives your lip a little bit definition. I don't know if you can tell the very subtle satiny finish. It is from the very fine glitter in this collection. So it's mostly still matte, but it still has a little bit of definition, so it's not totally flat. It somehow looked way warmer on my lips than on the swatch. This brand is really good for making those like super nuanced shade, and this is definitely one of them. Let's try the shade M68, the shade from the Meow Witch collection. Oh, let's swatch. It's a reddish nude, like a rosy reddish nudie type of shade. Pretty nice as well, right? It's just a different vibe to the previous one, and I feel like it suits my makeup today well as well. And this one doesn't have the not multi glitter, like a very fine glitter to it. And this is also the film firmer type of formulation. So that's the try on for today. Let's wait for maybe around 6 hours, and we can do a wear test and round up. Okay, this is a update for 5-ish hours. I know it's not super long, but for me, I have oily skin in the warm weather, so in this weather more than 3 hours is a good test, and if something works past 3 hours, it normally works. And I'm too lazy to find a hair clip, so I'm using my blue light blocking glass to act as a hairband. I'm wearing this blue cut glass today is mainly to test how transfer proof this is, because normally if you wear glass there will be like a mark there, as you can see there, and it did create a mark, but I feel like this is on the better side. For the bad ones, for example this, the Wake Make Water Glow Coating Balm is so bad. It's like taking a chunk out from your skin. But this one, again, is looking okay. But I have to say, the rest of the face doesn't look good. I don't know how much you can tell on the camera, but this side, the glowy side, it is settling into the pores around this region, and this side just overall looks kind of chunky, and you can see the lip pretty much came off, and I ate a super oily meal just now. So yeah, it's transfer proof for just drinking, you know, with the film firmer, but it is not actually not coming off if you eat. For these two foundations, unfortunately, no for me. I just feel like my skin, I have mentioned this is like countless times, my skin just work well with Japanese foundations. I don't think objectively Japanese foundations are always better than, you know, Chinese foundations or Korean foundations. I just feel like my skin is probably a pretty special type, and you know, every country has its own technology and they tend to have their own style. I just feel like the Japanese type of style foundations always work for my type of skin, which is very big pores and kind of oily, and it doesn't really have much to cover, and you might not see the texture super visible. None of them is like a colored texture. I just ate such a big meal, so all of my blood is flushing into my stomach to digest all this food, so I feel like I just don't have enough blood in my brain to process, so I feel like this wear test is all over the place. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. But yeah, just to sum it up, I just feel like Japanese foundation normally work way better than this for me. It's time to try the other two. It's the next day. For these two, I think from the packaging you can see they're kind of from the same line. Traceless Lasting Foundation is a liquid one, and this is the Traceless Air Cushion Cream. So a cushion foundation. Each of these has 4 shades, so slightly better than the ones we tried yesterday, but not so much. Liquid foundation. This one is super liquidy as well. Shade is looking way worse than the previous one, even though this is the shade W01. Look at this. I'm just gonna say I am glad that I don't have to go outside today. I'm staying inside the whole day. Oh, it's so patchy. I think you can probably tell on the camera too, it is pretty heavy. After some more blending, I guess it looked okay, other than I look like a ghost. Let's try to build up the coverage, because I feel like the coverage wasn't really great. I guess after thoroughly blending it, it looked at least decent, just like 5 million shades lighter than my neck. You have to like work kind of hard to blend it, but after you already blend it, it looked kind of smooth actually. Let's try the cushion one. Also the shade W01 look maybe a hair better, but not so much. I think this is still gonna be pale, and the formulation is way more solid. Oh, this shade is... Oh, this is way better. It wasn't leaving all that weird trace. I think this side has a hair more glowiness than this side, and it's also a hair more like olive or like just yellow undertoned, right? Like this one look way more pinky, and this side is way easier to blend. So I'm gonna finish my makeup and come back. Okay, this is how it looked after applying all the makeup on top of it. Actually, the more I wear it, the more I feel like the formulation is actually not bad. It's not chunky, and makeup worked nice on top of it as well. It's just this shade really is not it. But other than that, it's actually decent, at least. It's not my favorite, to be honest, but yeah, it's not bad. Let's see you in a couple hours for the wear test. Okay, we are here doing the update for the foundations. I feel like overall it held pretty well in the last about like 4 or 5 hours. I do feel like the liquid side held a little bit better than the cushion side. The cushion side looks a tiny little bit heavy around this area. I have bigger pores here. It's settling into the pores a little bit. Other than that, it's pretty nice. And I feel like as the time goes, you can see the this side is more and more pink, and this side like oxidized. I think now you can see that this side did oxidize quite a little bit. I think initially this one is supposed to be a little bit more light than the cushion, but now it's like way darker. So if you only look at this side, it's like maybe only 1 shade lighter than my neck, and this side is like I feel like at least 3 shades lighter than my neck. So yeah, that's another information I don't know if anybody care about. But overall, this really held pretty well, surprisingly. So that's the wear test, and let's take a moment to do a roundup to sum up my opinion. The foundations, like I just mentioned, I don't think either of this is working super well for me. This is not the worst foundations I've tried from C Beauty. This is probably on the average side, because again, I don't think it looks like atrocious or anything. It just doesn't look the best. When I wear my SUQQU foundations, it just doesn't look like this. The CARSLAN powder, I feel like it's fine. It's a nice powder, but I wouldn't say that this is gonna be my favorite or anything. It's just kind of above average. I would use it since I already have this, but I probably wouldn't purchase a full size because I didn't feel like this is better than my favorite ones. And this palette, I mean, I don't know what to say. I guess the matte ones are fine, but I just really don't like the shimmers here. And overall, I just feel like this is such an average product. I'm planning still in the planning to do a C Beauty all-in-one palette because this type of product is so popular in China. Like every brand has something like this. And among all of the ones I tried, I feel like this is definitely at the bottom of the bottom. And for these two, these two, I feel like these are pretty nice. Like, can you see any of flakes coming off and like smudges? No, right? If it's gonna smudge, it's gonna smudge within 2 hours, believe me. So if it holds for about 5 hours, it's just gonna hold past 8 or 10 hour mark for me. And I really like the finish of this mascara. I'm so glad that I bought this, and the eyeliner as well is lasting very well and it's not smudging. And this one is nice too, and I think it's still there even after all of these hours and me like wiping and rolling on the couch. So I like this one too. I really feel like most of the flowerknows products work for me. This highlight powder is pretty nice too. It's consistent with all of the other matte highlighting powders from this brand, Girlcult. So I personally loved this one, and I'm glad now I have a single. For lips, actually none of these are bad. Like, I liked all of them. The one that I did a wear test, I didn't feel like it's drying throughout the day at all. So this is one of the good matte formulations that it won't help if you have like super dry lips, but if you moisturize your lip well before application, this will not dry out your lips. I didn't feel my lips are dry throughout the whole day. So you can understand the Girlcult matte formulation in this way. It's more like a sealer, so it doesn't really help if your lips are like chapped or anything. It's just gonna look chapped and feel chapped the whole day. If your lips are well moisturized, this will seal the moisture so you don't feel like it's dry. And that's all I'm asking for. I'm willingly to moisturize my lips before application to, you know, make it not drying the whole day. I really am tempted to buy all of the shades from this brand Girlcult. I love their shades and I love their formula.